open throat or low larynx? As if we have any kind of a choice. If we are trying to be good opera singers or singers in general, well, opera singers, most of anything, when we are talking about open throat or low larynx, some people divide them. You can't. It's both things together. You can't divide an open throat or a low larynx. How do you want to have a full connection to your chest if your larynx is high? How do you want your larynx to tilt correctly if it's high? It have to be low, not compressed, but low, floating low. It have to be free. So how can we have a low larynx without being compressed? Because you can lower the larynx with compression. It's possible to compress and lower. Many people do that, and there's the part of the confusion, because to have a low larynx that is floating, the throat have to be open. Some people open the throat but don't think about lowering the larynx. And what happened? Then you have a sound that is spread. It's a wide sound. Doesn't have timbre, doesn't have chest connection, doesn't have the squillo of the chest. Squillo comes from the chest reflecting into the mask, like Corelli used to say, because it is like that. It is like that, punto finito. There are so many theories. You need to go to the facts. So I invite you to think two important ideas. Okay, let's put it like this. So, for the great Giacomo Lauri Volpi, A was the queen of the vowels. La regina delle vocali era A, vero? He even insists and say that if you want to do a good E, you need to think first of the space of an A and then place your E, okay? Now you need the deepness of the U to be able to do that. So you see what happens from the other school, from the Arturo Melocchi school. I come from that school. I also come from the Garcia school. I was very, very blessed and lucky to have these connections, these teachers who connect me with these direct schools. This is a blessing, and I'm happy that I can give that to my students, and perhaps I can spread a little bit outside like I'm doing in this video with so much confusion. I saw there is something called the Singers Confusion Group, something like that. They are making even printing stuff so you can buy it and you can identify as a confused singer. I don't know if you like that, but it really is happening. Don't be confused. Go to the facts, okay? Go to the people, then you hear and you see the results. It's like that. Otherwise, it's all about an eternal research of something that already exists. Nothing is new on the singing world. And when it's new, it sounds like you know how it sounds, and I know how it sounds. I don't like it. It's losing the real identity. The opera, they are putting microphones in some stages. This cannot be any longer. It's too much confusion. It's true. There is a lot of confusion around. Sad, but true. Let's go back to this. So, from the Arturo Melocchi school, the most important vowel is the U vowel because of the natural deepness of the vowel. But Melocchi insisted on vocalizing in a very wide open A, always having the deepness that the U give you at the beginning. So he divided the vocalizations, but in the moment he has a spread or gola spalancata. Spalancato means, open is this. Spalancato means beyond, you break it. Because you can't break it, the throat by opening. But he asked for that, gola spalancata, just to have the idea clear. So let's put this together. We have these two schools, Garcia, Melocchi. So from the Garcia school, Giacomo Lauri Volpi then came after because he studied with Cotogna at the beginning, as did also the great Beniamino Gilli. Let's go to this point. He said, La regina delle vocali, the queen of the vowels, is the A because have the maximum amplitude. All right, that is correct. But we need the deepness. And for that, think about what Arturo Melocchi asked. U, the deepness of the U have to be always present. Put both together. The spread space of the A with a nice deepness of the U, so you anchor your larynx in the right position. And when the throat is open, there is no pressure down. It's floating down. It's not trapped down. That is the point. Do not get confused. All right? So I invite you to try. Think about a nice wide space and then about an U. Wide space without these things, okay? Just a wide space. Breathe in a surprise. The surprise will give you the right cavity. Okay, I'm gonna make another video about the surprise and why I prefer surprise than yawning. Okay. Even the concepts are pretty near and have more or less the same results. Surprise is better. Anyway, breathe the surprise, and then you attack, not thinking about any kind of color. Don't focus on color. Focus on the resonance, the vibration you're going to feel into your face, lips, teeth. All right, that means the voice is out. If you feel vibration buzzing in your lips, means that the sound is coming out. If you feel your voice inside huge, means all the resonance are inside. They are not coming outside. You will feel a big voice because you hear with your inner ear, because the ear is inside the cranium. I'm going to talk another video about this topic also. Okay, that's why I say don't listen to your voice. Follow your sensation and trust your mechanics when you have them. Try it yourself, look for space, anchor your larynx, but let it free on the space of an open throat. Yes, let's do an example before I go to the next lesson. So, a spread open throat without deepness will sound something like this. Let's do a G. Huh? I don't like it. I don't know if the mic support that. Okay, I fixed the mic because it was just going crazy. Now it's on the minimum, all right? But for the voice it's better. Let's go now to a deep larynx, but without an open throat. Same note, G. An A, not an O, but with a compressed down. I hear this on colleagues who are trying to teach Melocchi, for example, yeah, because you feel the compressor and you have that sound and the voice is trapped down. Yes, it's deep, but it's not good. There is no space because there is no space, the sound is compressed down. Now let's put both together. Open throat, deep larynx. In that case, the larynx is not compressed and it can float because it's free. And like that, you can go to any note. For example, you can attack a D flat directly if you do this process. Deep larynx, open pharynx. So, breathe in surprise. It's a D flat diretto with colpo di glottide, tutto bene. It's alright. It's not such a crazy thing. Alright? Go for people with answers, not just for researchers. Come on. Life is beautiful.